Alaskans, wherever you are, welcome to the Must Read Alaska Show. Coming to you from somewhere in Alaska. This is the place where we talk about, you guessed it, Alaska. Where we keep the mainstream media on their toes and where we are standing up for what's right in a world run by leftists. You can find out more by heading over to mustreadalaska.com and also checking out the Must Read Alaska YouTube channel for some really great content. But first, let's get this party started.
Welcome, everybody, to the Must Read Alaska Show. I'm your host, John Quick, coming to you live from somewhere in Alaska. Hope everybody's having a phenomenal week this week. Man, it's like winter. It turned winter overnight. I woke up yesterday morning and looked like we had some frost on the grass in the morning, which is kind of crazy. I hope everybody's enjoyed their summer, got out there, gone camping, barbecue, and all those things. I know we did. If folks listen, watch, and read Must Read Alaska and you like it and you want to help keep the lights on, just go to mustreadalaska.com. On the right-hand side, there's a little donate button. Every $5, $10, $100 helps keep the lights on here at Must Read Alaska. If you want to sponsor the Must Read Alaska show, just email me, John, John, at mustreadalaska.com. We'd love to have you sponsor the show. This summer, we're doing a thing called Candidate Spotlight, where anybody running for office all over Alaska, doesn't matter what office you're running for, you can go to our Facebook page. Pinned to the top of that page on the Must Read Alaska Facebook page is a post, and that'll show you how to sign up for a Candidate Spotlight form. And you could be a Republican, Democrat, nonpartisan, everything in between. Feel free to sign up. We've had all of those on the show so far this summer for the Candidate Spotlight. And today we have Assembly member Bill Elam. He's running for State House on the show, back on the show. I think you've been on a couple of times. So welcome to the Must Read Alaska show, Bill.
Thanks, John. I appreciate you having me on again. Yeah, we've definitely had a few times to chat over the years, and always appreciate what you guys there at Must Read Alaska do for the great state of Alaska.
Awesome. So, Bill, tell us, who you are and where you're running for office. We'd love to hear from you.
Yeah, Bill Elam, Alaska House District 8. And so that's from Bear Creek all the way over to Nikiski. It includes Sterling, Funny River, just a ton of area there, Sunrise, Hope, Cooper Landing, the whole bit. Currently, I've been sitting on the Borough Assembly here representing Sterling and Funny River area. And so this is just kind of an expansion of that area into the State House and, more issues, more topics to work on.
Nice. So what made you throw your name in that? You've been on the Assembly for a while, and, I'll give you a pat on the back, because not that you need one, but, for folks listening in, I think local politics is probably the best politics you can be involved in. And Bill's always been somebody, you're not in my district even, but one thing that I've always appreciated about Bill is I can text him or email him or message him about any sort of questions I have with the borough, really anything under the sun. And you've always been real quick to get back to me. I'm sure you're like that with everybody. And I think I just really appreciated that about you, Bill. So I wanted to let you know that. But tell folks why you're running for office. What made you throw your name in the hat?
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And I do. I try to be responsive and quick to everybody's requests. Sometimes we get a ton of them and it can take a day or two to get back, but I try to get in there. And I guess it's that service, the serving the people, being a part of my community. Those are the reasons I get involved and do things. And, there's a lot of big items out there, large agenda items. And I think those are great. I love working on those and making some big impacts, but I also love really working on all the little things that add up, that make a big difference in you and I's day-to-day lives. And so many times I see, that kind of stuff gets overlooked in the process of everything. And then we wind up, not getting the roads to the far north end of our community taken care of, or a culvert that's causing flooding not taken care of. And so, things like, all of those reasons are things that I'm looking for whenever I go to work on this stuff. And so it ranges from, education to natural resources and development. So when I saw that Ben Carpenter wasn't going to run at the end of this term, I term out on the Assembly. And so it's the next natural progression in HOP. And so it's just a great time to get in and work and kind of carry on the charge here for the peninsula.
Nice. And I know the answer to this, but not the folks listening won't. But have you worked for government your whole life? Is this kind of
No.
just like the next government job that you're getting, or tell us about kind of what you do for your day job?
Yeah, so my day job currently is I manage the IT department over at the hospital here in Soldotna. I have done technology and networking and infrastructure, cybersecurity my entire career. So the better part of 26, 27 years now. Um, and it's always been private sector. I've never had a government job. Even here at the hospital, it's owned by the borough, the building, the facility. The actual corporation is a private Inc. nonprofit. Yeah.
That's awesome. So what are some of the things that you would focus on? Let's say it's day one in office, you win. What would be some of those top initiatives that you'd focus on if you win the election?
Yeah, so a couple of things that I'm really wanting to focus on. Um, first and foremost, getting Alaska and the Kenai Peninsula to be a priority, being first in the list of things that we want to work on. Economically, resource development, those things are all really, really important to me. Um, I really actually have a couple of things that are local, sort of municipal level that I would like to take up there. We can create some better efficiencies by removing some state statute on a few different items, particularly when you start getting into education and how the funds are spent and shared around. There are some things there that could be really beneficial, I think, to the greater part of the peninsula and really across the state of Alaska. And so those are areas that I want to work on. The other thing is getting us to live within our means, right? Whenever we start talking about budgets and working through the fiscal process, really, building this stuff early on is the biggest issue, right? Once you've had, say, like a school, for example, that's been in your area for 40 years and it's had, negligence and maintenance and all of that kind of stuff, it's kind of too late to fix the problem. At that point, it's generational. And I think that, there's some things that we can do early on, where like the schools and the buildings and facilities and stuff around the state that are coming in, we can get some efficiencies and be far more effective at building it out from the get-go. And so I want to help work on some things there. Natural gas over here in the inlet is a pretty big priority. They were sucking sand back this winter whenever it got really cold. I want to make sure that I'm doing whatever I can to help facilitate getting our natural resource development and particularly the cost of energy down.
So, talk to me a little bit about um, being able to work with folks on both sides of the aisles. I know when you're on the assembly, you know, it was it happened a lot where you'd maybe be one of two people that would vote a certain way as kind of the conservatives on the assembly, but you're still, obviously still able to work with those folks on the assembly. Talk to me a little bit about that and being able to maintain a good relationship with folks who don't see eye to eye with you politically.
Yeah, I mean that's a great point. Municipal government is notoriously uh, kind of blue, but if you can build those relationships and work with folks, even when you don't necessarily see eye to eye, there's a lot of things that we agree on. In general, I think we can all agree that the road connecting Anchorage and the peninsula is a very important priority, and it really doesn't matter who you are or where you live. That's an important thing. And so it's finding a way to make sure that that is being taken care of and worked through. And I find that that's the case with most things. The reality is that, you and I, along with everybody else, we don't 100% agree eye to eye on stuff. But if you and I agree 80%, oh, there's an amazing amount of stuff that we could do to get, forward motion on working on things. In the case where we only agree on 30 or 40%, well, I'm going to go talk about those 30 or 40% of things and make sure that those are issues that are getting taken care of. At the end of the day, I am a Republican. I plan on, staying true to my core foundation and beliefs. But at the same time, I don't let that inhibit my abilities to be able to have conversations and communicate with people.
So what are you hearing from folks as you get out there and chat with folks? Because, part of your potential new district is folks that are outside of your current assembly district. So you're probably talking to some new folks, possibly. What are folks telling you What are you hearing from the streets?
It's been really good. I've been well received everywhere I've gone. I've spent a lot of time out Nikiski, out east of town. Once we get over to Cooper Landing and some of those areas further out, a good chunk of the district I've actually already been representing. A lot of the conservatives from the Eastern Peninsula have already had me on speed dial because if they had a conservative issue or some kind of a platform type thing, I would already get a lot of those kind of contacts. And so I've helped with a lot of that stuff. And then with the borough, once you're in that body, just like you would with the state, you're really representing everybody, right? You have your constituency, which is the group, that puts you in that office. So that's you got to pay specific and special attention to those guys, but you're really making decisions across the whole Kenai Peninsula Borough. And so, like you said, I've helped folks out in Nikiski a ton over the years, and so it's been really well received. But there's always more doors to knock on and people to talk with. So I'm looking forward to getting to know each and every one of them.
Nice. So, what are some things that maybe, because I think you have at least one opponent because he was on the show a couple days ago. Um, what are some of the things that separate you from your opponents? And I don't know if you have more than one, but what are some of those key distinctives?
I'd say a couple things that kind of contrast the two of us, would be that at my local service, I think that kind of puts me apart just a little bit. I know the issues here on the peninsula. I've been really involved. I've been the legislative delegate going down to Juneau already for, I guess, 4 years now. And so I've already built a lot of those relationships down there. I already know most everybody and their staff in Juneau. And then I also know everybody around here on the peninsula. They all know me. And so I've been very involved, and I don't think, that you can take that away very quickly there, so that's a big difference. I am also technologically sound. Like, I mean, when it comes to technology and going in and understanding the complexities of a lot of those things. One of the things with being in technology in particular is you touch literally everything within an organization. Doesn't matter what organization that you're in all of it. So I'm very well rounded in a lot of those areas, particularly when it comes to private sector. And then, the other thing would be is I'm a younger family. My oldest is 10, my middle just turned 9, and my caboose is 5. And so we're down here, raising our family, living here. I myself get to be an Alaskan by choice, but I'm raising 3rd generation Alaskans here. And so roots can run really deep here. And so really love it. I love the peninsula and love the opportunity to be able to serve all of our friends and family here.
Nice. Well, there's going to be folks listening in that maybe want to get in touch with you and your campaign. Do you guys have any events coming up? What's the easiest way to get in touch with you? Are you guys on Facebook? Give us all those details.
So my cell phone is 907-690-4339. You can text or call me or whatever anytime you want. I got my website, Bill Elam, ELAM.com. And then I've got all the social media stuff there on Facebook. So it's Bill Elam for Alaska. And I'll be right there on Facebook. And then events, I don't have any specific campaign events going on right this moment. I've got the primaries are coming up here in a couple of days, and so I'm going to try to get a maybe like a watch party for the primary or something put up. Keep an eye on my social media. I'll be putting stuff there. But in general, if there's 5, 10 or more people there, I'm going to be there. So I have been at every event, the parades, the progress days, the fun in the sun, you name it. I'm here. So
that's awesome. Well, any last minute thoughts here, Bill, before we head off? 20 minutes here has gone by in a flash.
Oh, yeah, it goes by real quick. I guess the biggest thing I would encourage people to do right now is to stay involved and engaged, pay attention to what's going on with the elections, and don't let the election day go by without, going out and voting. there's some big issues when we start talking about, natural gas, resource development, the economy. We're kind of at the crosshairs right now of some significant things that are really going to change and impact the state of Alaska and the Kenai Peninsula for a long time. And I think that being able to get together and cut through the dysfunction down there in Juneau is all going to be really, really important, particularly the next couple of sessions. And so I appreciate their support.
Awesome. Well, Bill, thanks so much for joining us here on the Must Read Alaska show. Folks that listening in and you live in his district and you want to hear more, maybe you only caught the tail end of this, I want to encourage you to go back and listen to the whole thing. Bill, remind us one more time before we head off, for folks listening in, your district and what you're running for.
So Bill Elam, Alaska House District 8, goes from Nikiski all the way over to Bear Creek, almost to Seward, kind of a crescent shape all around the northern and eastern peninsula. And so my contact number is 907-690-4339 and BillElam.com.
Awesome. Well, folks that listen, watch, and read Must Read Alaska, and you want to help keep the lights on, just go to mustreadalaska.com. On the right-hand side, there's a little donate button. Every $5, $10, $100 helps keep the lights on here at Must Read Alaska. If you want to sponsor the Must Read Alaska show, just email me, John, J-O-H-N, at mustreadalaska.com. We hope everybody has a phenomenal rest of their summer, gearing up to put those kiddos back in school. Until next time, I'm John Quick from somewhere in Alaska. Thanks, Bill.
Thank you.